This magical scene lasts about 2 minutes, but truthfully, it will last a lifetime.
This scene is the scene where Vincent Vega, John Travolta, has to take out the big man.
Mr. Saturday Night, I danced with John Travolta in a movie on a disco floor.
If you put John Travolta on a dance floor, no matter how tough his character is supposed to be, he'll forget it and transform. Pulp Fiction is Pulp Fiction because calling it perfect feels like an understatement. Its characters, direction, performances, and unforgettable dialogue make it, yes, Pulp Fiction. Stay until the end, and you'll learn some little-known trivia about the movie that's sure to surprise you. The story of how Bruce Willis, who was the man of the moment after making Die Hard, will surprise you.
Harvey Keitel, who's in the movie, and he was one of the guys, so I had him. He was shooting in town, and when he was shooting in town, he'd usually rent a house in Malibu, and so he would invite friends to come over for the weekend and hang out.
Jesus.
And so like I came over and I'm hanging out at Harvey's place, and then it turns out that Bruce Willis was only living about 3 or 4 or 5 houses down the way.
And guess who was at that party? Once again, the stars aligned.
There's Bruce Willis. I've never met him before. Mm-hmm. And it turns out he is a huge fan of Reservoir Dogs.
The big man, being a huge Reservoir Dogs fan, wanted to be buddies with Quentin.
We're all talking, and then he goes, hey, Quentin, take a walk with me. I'm going to take you to my house. I want to introduce you to Demi. All right, let's take a walk to my place. So we're taking a nice walk along the beach. He goes, so look, I read your script. What, Reservoir Dogs? No, the new one, Pulp Fiction. Wow, I mean, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
But what Bruce told Quentin next wasn't as pleasant.
I want to play Vincent. Because I want to play Vincent. I go, well, I kind of have John Travolta set up
to play him.
for Vincent. And so he goes, oh, well, John's great.
But despite being turned down for Vincent, he at least wanted to be close to the character.
So then all of a sudden Bruce goes, I guess, okay, well, how about this? What if I play Jules? And I go, well, obviously. He goes, look, I know he's black. I know the character's black, but it's more like just, but he could just be a hipster dude, And,
sure.
And I could do that dialogue because that's the way me and my friend.
The movie that would become a cinema classic. Bruce was determined to ruin it, but thankfully Tarantino didn't let him.
I mean, it's just, it's like winning the fucking lottery.
Yeah.
But it's not right. It's just not right.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him that, well, the part that would be fantastic for you is Butch.
Once the roles were set, there was no more debate.
It's almost like doing stage work. It's the closest thing that I've done to stage work, I think. Because everybody here, I think, feels the same way I do and really respects Quentin's writing.
And Bruce ended up playing Butch in a truly admirable way. And it's ironic. Butch, a boxer, teams up with Marcellus, the city's most dangerous gangster. But this alliance doesn't go entirely well. This feud leads them to a pawn shop where they encounter 2 even crazier guys.
I won Venice, I think, the Venice Film Festival or something. Mm-hmm. I forget. I won him, but he was on the voting board. And when Tarantino came and offered me that role, I had seen Reservoir Dogs.
That was his first movie.
But I didn't like it that much, and he wanted me to play that part. I turned it down.
And we know why. The role of Zed wasn't exactly pleasant to play. And just as Butch's character transforms into a hero, there were also admirable acts off-screen.
Most of us, it cost money to do this movie. But when good material...
What do you mean by that?
Well, because they could basically not pay you more than the scale or close to it. And with most of us have families and have to stay in a hotel, and was out of town and this kind of thing. So
The character of Vincent Vega is undoubtedly remembered for this legendary performance.
Vincent.
where is the intercom?
Well, that too, but I meant the dance scene.
This guy really enjoyed watching me. You know, it made me cry because it was like a parent watching you more than it was anything else. He just, like, I think he felt I made the right choice.
You'd think they had to rehearse a lot for this dance, but the truth is, the scene was an improvised dance inspired by Batuzzi moves. While for Mia's moves, Quentin wanted this.
So part of the thing about it is, I wanted Vincent and Mia, i.e. Uma Thurman, to have two different characters when they twist. All right, when Vince twists, I wanted him to be kind of rich. Like that. But when Mia twists, the image that I had in my mind was the Zsa Zsa Gabor cat from the Aristocats. And there's that one little scene where the Aristocats dance.
John probably landed the role of Vincent thanks to the dance skills he showed in Saturday Night Fever. So Uma took advantage of that.
Well, I mean, to give him some credit, John Travolta is known for some pretty legendary dance scenes.
He is.
So the pressure was on me.
But the truth is, in the scene, both are so natural, and that's why it became iconic. But let's remember that Vincent is a gangster, a hitman, and an addict.
I decided I was on board. I realized that because I was not, am not an advocate of drug usage, and it's not a side of life that I'm familiar with, that I needed to do some investigation with drug addicts. So I basically chose a few kind of ideal archetypes of heroin users.
And this made him even more rebellious than his partner.
How about you, Lash LaRue? Can you keep your spurs from...
And since we mentioned Jules, played by Samuel L. Jackson, who had previously auditioned for Reservoir Dogs.
I'd auditioned for Reservoir Dogs and didn't get it because I auditioned with Quentin and Lawrence Bender, and they were horrible. So I saw him at Sundance at the first screening of Reservoir Dogs. And he said, "Oh, how'd you like the guy who got your part?" So he remembered me. I was like, "You remember me?"
So always remember that even Samuel L. Jackson got rejected, but when one door closes, another opens.
I'm writing something. I'll send it. You'll get it. I did get the script like 2 weeks later, and it came in a little brown bag with some gangsters on the front of it and said, "If you show this to anybody, we'll find you and kill you."
I wish I could say that was all it took for him to get the role, but it wasn't.
I get a call saying, well, you know, there's this guy who came in and we were reading him for another part, but he wanted to read Jules because there wasn't enough stuff for the other part, and we let him read it, but we really like him. I'm like, but I thought you wrote the part for me. So, well, we did, but we really like this guy.
So he had to fly to LA to audition for a role that was written for him.
I stay up all night. I get there the next morning. When I get there, nobody's there. The other guy's already been in, and they've gone to lunch. And then when they come back, everybody's like, hey, and they're introducing this one guy to me that I don't even know, who's another producer. And he goes, "Oh, you don't need to introduce me to this man. I love your work, Mr. Fishburne." Okay, this motherfucker doesn't know who I am.
You'd think casting for one of the greatest movies in history would be more poetic, but it's not quite like that. Thankfully, once again, Samuel got the role, and it was magical.
Does he look like a bitch? No! Then why you try to fuck him like a bitch, Brett? And hit the spot.
And speaking of perfect things, another was when Jules recites a passage from the Bible.
It's great that we're doing this, and it's great that people are going to hear it. It would be interesting for them to sit and read it as they listen to it, to see if the words make sense as these words are coming through their ears.
Mm-hmm. Ezekiel 25:17. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And you will know my name is
It's believed Tarantino struggled to decide how to end the movie, but it's thought that after Samuel's audition, he knew. And that's how the great diner finale scene was born.
Want to share a cab?
Yeah, I'd go for some breakfast. Feel like having breakfast with me?
Cool.
And the scene works so well because the director lets the actors loosen up and improvise.
He's one of the best directors I've worked with. And he's very, very enthusiastic in that.
And everyone in this scene acts absolutely brilliantly. Pulp Fiction is a revolutionary film for its non-linear storytelling, witty script, and Tarantino's unique direction. Could anyone else have created this masterpiece? All that remains is to thank Quentin for creating this wonderful film, because Pulp Fiction is the definition of cinema. That's all, friends, and tell me in the comments what you thought of the movie. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our great videos and discover never-before-seen trivia about your favorite movies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.